Collin Morikawa walked into the Ryder Cup press conference talking about absolute chaos, but nobody predicted what would follow. When Bethpage Black erupted into a frenzy that crossed every line in golf, Morikawa's words turned prophetic, and suddenly he became the face of a disaster that left the sport reeling. Now, the golf world is on edge as he makes a huge announcement. Part clarification, part confession. Was he naive, reckless, or something else entirely? The real consequences are just beginning. What's behind Morikawa's bombshell, and how did 3 words bring golf to the brink? Stick around, because you're about to see how a single phrase can change everything. September 24th, 2025. Collin Morikawa sits before a row of microphones, the Ryder Cup logo bright behind him, New York media packed tight. The question comes, how much can the Bethpage crowd help Team USA? Morikawa leans forward, eyes shining, and answers without hesitation. "I'd love for the opening day to be absolute chaos out there," he says. Not just loud, not just energetic, absolute chaos. He talks about home course advantage, about wanting the crowd to show what New York can do, about turning the volume up to 11. The words land with a spark. This isn't trash talk or gamesmanship. It's pure, unfiltered hope for something electric, something unforgettable. He's grinning, open-handed, almost inviting the city to bring its wildest self to golf's biggest stage. The room takes it as gospel. Morikawa wants an atmosphere, not anarchy. In that moment, it's hype, not a warning. He's not alone, either. Teammates and captains echo the call for noise, for energy, for Bethpage to become the loudest theater in golf. But it's Morikawa's phrase, 3 words, absolute chaos, that gets picked up, replayed, and stamped on headlines from ESPN to Sky Sports. What started as innocent enthusiasm is now out in the world, echoing louder than any cheer. The phrase sits in the air, waiting for its meaning to be decided, not by Morikawa, but by everyone listening. Within hours, Morikawa's 3 words shot through the golf world like a flare. ESPN splashed the phrase across their homepage, Golf.com ran it in bold, and Sky Sports built their entire Friday preview around it. The PGA's own promo team clipped the moment for social media, splicing it into hype videos with thunderous music and slow-motion crowd shots. On Twitter, Ryder Cup accounts fired off GIFs and hashtags. Hashtag absolute chaos trended by noon. Reddit threads debated just how wild Bethpage could get, while meme makers churned out images of Morikawa photoshopped into riot scenes, his grin pasted over burning fairways. By the time the first tee shot was even imagined, the message was everywhere. Bethpage wasn't just hosting a golf tournament, it was about to throw a party for the ages. Golf Channel analysts echoed the sentiment, replaying Morikawa's soundbite and highlight reels, dissecting every syllable for signs of swagger or warning. Even mainstream outlets outside the sport, CNN, The Guardian, ran with the chaos angle, framing it as a culture clash in the making. Every retweet, every headline, every meme added fuel. The original hope for energy and noise became a digital drumbeat, pounding louder with each passing hour. Expectations ballooned. The crowd was being told, in high definition and surround sound, to turn it up. And in that echo chamber, the difference between hype and license started to blur. From the first tee shot, Bethpage Black was a powder keg. Friday's opening matches started with chants, jeers, and a wall of sound that rattled even the most seasoned Europeans. By Saturday, that energy had mutated. Rory McIlroy, paired with Shane Lowry, found himself the bullseye, hecklers tailing him from fairway to green, shouts of "Foul you, Rory," echoing from the grandstands. Marshals flashed warning signs on video boards, but the volume only climbed. At the par 5 fourth, McIlroy backed off an eagle putt as a voice sliced through the hush, forcing him to reset. Lowry, battered by taunts about his weight, snapped back after sinking a birdie, firing his own expletives at the gallery. The tension wasn't just noise, it was personal. Security scrambled. Officers, usually invisible, patrolled inside the ropes for the first time in Bethpage's history. Justin Thomas, meant to be locked in on his own match, spent more time pleading with the crowd for silence than lining up putts. By the back nine, McIlroy and Lowry were shadowed by a police escort, 24 officers lining the fairways just to keep the peace. Ejections mounted, dozens, maybe more, hustled out for abuse or drunken brawling. Still, the chaos kept multiplying. The breaking point came late Saturday. A beer cup arced from the crowd, striking near Erica Stoll, McIlroy's wife. The video ricocheted across social media, racking up millions of views overnight. In that instant, the line between rowdy and reckless disappeared. Bethpage wasn't just loud, it was lawless. Saturday at Bethpage, the air thickens. By late afternoon, chants aren't just noise, they're weapons. The grandstands pulse with a single, venomous rhythm. F you, Rory. Not a scattered heckle, but a full-throated chorus, led from the first tee by the event's own MC. Security radios crackle. Marshals, usually background scenery, now form a human barricade along the ropes. Inside the ropes, caddies trade glares and words. Bryson DeChambeau's camp locks eyes with Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood's team near the 13th fairway, voices raised, fingers pointed. It's no longer about golf, it's about territory. Shane Lowry, battered by jeers about his weight, stops after a birdie and fires back, hurling his own expletives at the gallery. Justin Thomas, trying to steady his own game, spends more time pleading for silence than reading putts. The confrontations aren't just player to fan, they're player to player, caddy to caddy, marshal to mob. Security teams, outnumbered and outshouted, struggle to eject offenders fast enough. Warning messages scroll across video boards, respect the game, but the crowd only grows louder, feeding on its own bravado. By sunset, the course feels less like a sporting arena and more like a powder keg. Players walk with heads down, caddies tense at every step, marshals bracing for the next eruption. The chants, the confrontations, the raw hostility. Bethpage isn't just rowdy anymore, it's menacing. And as darkness falls, everyone knows. The line between passion and poison has vanished. The fallout hits like a tidal wave. By Sunday night, headlines across the Atlantic scream disgrace. European captain Luke Donald calls out the Bethpage crowd for crossing every line. Sky Sports runs split screens of the beer-throwing incident next to Morikawa's soundbite. The Guardian's recap ditches the score. Respect lost at Ryder Cup. Social feeds boil with calls for lifetime bans, while Golf Channel anchors replay the chaos, quote, demanding accountability from organizers and players alike. The PGA of America scrambles, issuing a formal apology to the McIlroy family. Event staff resign. The narrative shifts in real time. This isn't just about a lost cup, it's about a lost reputation. And with every new headline, the pressure on Morikawa to answer grows heavier, the echo of his words now a drumbeat for reckoning. Morikawa doesn't duck the backlash. In Tokyo, ahead of the Bay Current Classic, he faces the press and finally addresses the storm. His words land softer this time. When I said chaos, I meant energy and passion, not disrespect. He draws a line. He wanted noise, not hostility, and never intended for fans to cross it. But there's no dodging the reality. He admits the crowd went too far. It definitely crossed a line out there. The moment hangs in the air, a rare glimpse of vulnerability from a player raised on polished sound bites. Off the course, his own world is shifting. He's parted ways with 2 caddies in a year, searching for chemistry. He's switched to a new Spider Tour 5 putter, chasing lost confidence. The chaos isn't just outside, it's in his game, his team, his head. On September 24, 2025, Collin Morikawa's call for absolute chaos at Bethpage Black was picked up by dozens of outlets and amplified across social media, setting the tone for the Ryder Cup's most controversial weekend in recent memory. The documentary has shown how a single phrase, intended to fuel patriotic energy, became linked to hostile crowd incidents and a public backlash that forced Morikawa to clarify his intent. While he stated, "I cannot control what fans do," and admitted that boundaries were crossed, there is no official account of the total ejections or a full security breakdown released to date. The incident has prompted both the PGA and DP World Tour to revisit crowd management policies, but questions about player responsibility and the limits of fan behavior remain unresolved. What is clear? Morikawa's words reshaped the debate over golf's identity, and future Ryder Cups will be measured against the lessons of Bethpage 2025. Subscribe for more golf drama and controversy breakdowns.